Okay, hello and good morning. Let's take a look here. This one right here, you have a test, Chapter 6. It's going to be online from Wednesday to Sunday only. Okay, we're starting 7.1. Let's take a look here. This one right here, you're going to go ahead and distribute. So you're going to get 6x minus 6 is equal to 2x plus 9. Now, draw a line. See how these x's are on opposite sides? You cannot add them up. But go after the smaller x's. This one is smaller, so you want to subtract 2x from both sides. So you get 4x minus 6 is equal to 9. Now this is called a two-step equation, and you should know how to do it. So what you want to do is add 6 to this side and then divide by 4. Okay, so let's try that. When you add it, you get 15 divided by 4. And we'll leave it like that. Let's move on. This one right here, you could distribute, but it's going to make it kind of hard. I would use your least common denominator, which is 6. So I would multiply everything by 6. Watch what happens. When you put a 6 here, 3 goes into 6, 2 times 5 is 10. So you get 10 times x minus 3. When you put a 6 here, 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9, so that gives you 9 times x minus 2. And then you got to do this one. 3 times or 6 times 2 is going to give you a 12. Okay, remember we're multiplying all of these by 6. Okay, now some kids are like, why don't you multiply this one by 6? Because you're multiplying it by this fraction here, and we already did the fraction, so you don't do both of these. Then you distribute. And then you finish solving this equation. So you're going to get 10x minus 30 is equal to 9x, and then this right here looks like a negative 6. 9x is smaller, so you're going to subtract 9x from both sides. You're going to get x minus 30 is equal to negative 6. You're going to add 30 to both sides, and when you do, you get your answer. And this answer right here looks like 24. Okay, and that's how you do that. Here's your work for today. Let's turn our attention to geometry. All right, this one right here, you were taught yesterday that these two add up to 180. So you should put 2x plus 5 plus 40 is equal to 180. Yesterday, I said they were equal. I put 2x plus 5 is equal to 40. That's not the case. These two are supplementary, which means they add up to 180. And so now you work this out. So you get 2x plus 45 is equal to 180. So you want to subtract 45 and divide by 2. Let's take a look at that real quick here. So 180 minus 45, press equals, and then divide by 2. When you do, you get 67.5. And that's your answer, and that's what x equals. Okay? Remember, they add up to 180. They are not equal to each other. There's no way that this big angle is equal to that little angle. All right, let's move on. We're skipping chapter 9. Now, there's a lot to learn in 10.1. Okay, so put chapter 10, and we're skipping 9. All right, circumference. Let's say you have a circle, like your car tire, and let's say this is 5 inches. Okay, maybe not your car tire. So what you want to do is roll this 1 revolution to where the circle ends up back here, and you want to get this distance. This distance represents the distance around this circle. That's called circumference. Okay, so circumference is pi times diameter. So pi is 3.14, and the diameter here is going to be 5 plus 5 is going to be 10. And when you multiply, you get 31.4 inches. That's 1 revolution. If you roll it 4 times, then you would multiply that by 4. If you roll it 3.5, you would multiply by 3.5. All right, now let's move on. Okay, now there's something called area of the sector. Write this down. Okay, so area of the sector, if you take a circle and you make this a radius of 5 inches, let's say, okay, and you make this 30 degrees, okay, area of the sector is like a slice of pie, all right? So the area of the whole circle is pi radius squared. But we don't want the whole circle, we want a fraction. So we're going to take a fraction of means multiply, a fraction of the whole circle. And the way you get that fraction is the whole circle is 360 degrees. So you're going to use 30 degrees over 360 times the whole circle. Okay? So there's the formula. It is a fraction times the whole thing. Now let's work this one. So the fraction is going to be 30 divided by 360 times pi times the radius squared. So you get your calculator. Let's try this one. So you're going to take 30 times 3.14 times 5, press equals. Don't forget to divide by 360, and when you do, you get 6.5 square inches. That's called the area of the sector. All right? Now there's something called arc length. So copy that down. The arc length is how long this blue piece is from here to here. From here to here is called the arc length. How long is that? To do that, you're going to take a fraction. Here's the formula for this. A fraction times pi times diameter, which is circumference. Okay? So you're going to take the fraction, which is 30 over 360 times pi times diameter. So there's two things we're doing here. Today, we're doing the area of the sector, and we're doing something called arc length. Okay? So here, you would take 360, or 30 rather, times pi times the diameter, divided by 360. So the diameter would be 5 plus 5. So the diameter is 10. If you multiply this and divide by 360, you have your answer. Let's try that real quick. So 30 times 3.14 times, oops, try it again, clear it out. So 30 times 3.14 times 10, press equals, divide by 360. Now I know I didn't press equals, but it's 2.6 inches. Okay? So there's two things here. The area of the sector and the arc length. And here are your formulas. Okay? Fraction times the whole thing. Fraction times the whole thing. In this case, circumference. All right. There's a lot more to this section, and there's more I have to teach you, but I'm going to stop right there. All right. I'll see you in class.